Hola, again Dr. Lorenzo from Madrid, ready to run the first World FUE Institute workshop. This will be the second small tutorial on coverage value before the workshop. Must congratulate Dr. Koray Erdogan for its development. In the first tutorial, we mentioned that with this tool we will be able to evaluate the quality of the donor area, know the patient's total donor capacity, and understand how we reduce the donor capacity with each procedure, avoiding depletion. And on the other hand, in the recipient, how many grafts will be required to allow a minimal coverage, or which coverage will have the area that we've just placed the grafts. The knowledge of those targets is even more important in the advanced alopecia, where coverage cannot always be achieved and homogenization is the objective. We must do a good strategy to show the patient as much accurate as possible to don't create false expectation. If the plan is good for the patient, we are being honest and can go ahead. So let's explain with 3 cases where the goal is to homogenize the recipient more than get a real coverage due to donor characteristics. The first case is a 26-year-old young patient under finasteride and with an aggressive alopecia, 200 square centimeters to cover with a poor donor area. We estimated that with that donor we will need a total of 11,000 grafts to have a 5.4 coverage value. But when we measure the caliber, density, hair per square centimeter, and donor area, we saw that the donor had a coverage value of 9, 7, and 9 in temporal, parietal, and occipital areas. So the total grafts available without depletion was 7,200, the 32% of his donor area. We did a 3,000 grafts procedure at 2.08 hairs per graft for his 93 square centimeter of the frontal area, knowing that our coverage value were going to be 3, far away from the 5.4 needed. And here you have what, with good survival, a 3 coverage value means. After 9 months, we did the second procedure. Now the coverage value of the donor is 8, 6, and 8. And the coverage value Excel table said that we have 4,900 grafts available, the 25% of his donor. So we did a 3,100 procedure at 2.18 hairs per graft for the crown and left the donor coverage value at 7, 5, and 6, and the recipient coverage is again 3. We will probably have 1,500 more grafts to do a touch-up if a last procedure if it required, with the aim to give an homogenized style with a fair donor coverage. But as I pointed out at the beginning, patient must know to have the right expectation. Our second patient is again a Norwood 6, 44 years old and finasteride, with 200 square centimeter area in the recipient. After evaluated his donor characteristics, our coverage value Excel table estimated that he will need 9,000 grafts. Donor coverage value was 9, 10, and 11 in temporal, parietal, and occipital, bit better than the previous patient, reason why that the estimated grafts that can be extracted from his donor is over 9,700, 48% of his donor. So we did a 3,100 procedure with 2.28 hairs per graft for his 85 square centimeter frontal area. The estimated recipient coverage value was 4.1, and again with good survival you can compare with the first patient what a 1 point means in the coverage value scale. Again, 10 months later we did a 3,100 procedure for his 86 square centimeters in the crown. At that point, the coverage value of the donor was 8, 9, and 10, with 7,000 grafts available for extraction, a 39 of his donor. The estimated post-coverage value was left in 7 and 8, far away from the limit of 5.4, and the crown estimated coverage value again in 4. But knowing that we will have enough donor area, probably 4,000 grafts, to give him the desired 5.4 coverage value in the recipient. Lastly, our third patient, 64 years old, no meds, 156 square centimeters in the recipient. So we calculate that he will need 7,000 grafts to have a 5.4 coverage value in the recipient. 8, 10, and 11 coverage value in the temporal, parietal, and occipital areas. His donor characteristics tell us that he has 8,400 grafts available in the safe area, a 43%. We grafted 2,800 at 2.39 hairs per graft in his 81 square centimeters of the frontal area, and for a recipient coverage value of 5. In this case, gray hair always offers a better optical coverage, but we can compare again with optimal survival the coverage with the previous cases. Must say that this patient was at 5 months post-op when we carry out the second procedure. In that second surgery, the CV or coverage value of the donor decreased to 7, 8, and 9. So 5,700 grafts were available for extraction, a 35% of his donor. Again, 2,800 grafts were extracted at 2.44 hairs per graft for his 66 square centimeters in the crown. Estimated coverage value after the procedure fall down to 6 and 8. We hope to have again a 5 coverage value in the crown, but know that we still have nearly 3,000 grafts to increase if the patient requests more coverage. I hope again that you can see this video a couple of times, stopping when you need to understand all the concept. Hope to see you all in Tenerife, where we will be debating this and other issues on FUE technique. Remember, First World FUE Institute workshop to be held on the 11th to 13th of November in Tenerife, Canary Island, Spain. Thank you very much.